Ryan, you have I think it's a 1776 project pack.
Yeah.
And you have done some amazing work there. That's one of our central themes on this show. Obviously, one of Charlie's work, really. And as we look to the horizon and what can be done about, Charlie says college is a scam. Maybe you fall somewhere there. We also have local school boards, which you've been working really hard on. Just size it up as a first question. Isolate what are the biggest problems in American education and how do we address them?
The biggest problem is the teacher schools, the teachers' universities, the universities where you learn to become a teacher. So there's University of Chicago at Urbane. This is just one example. There is a professor known as Rochelle Gutierrez. She's an award-winning math professor. She teaches people how to teach math. Her entire curriculum on math is about the decolonization of math, how you strip whiteness from math. And she has had hundreds, if not thousands of people pass through her classes learning how to be math teachers from her examples. And they come, if you think of the average person who want to be a teacher when you were younger, when you met them in grade school or high school, they were just probably, a girl who wanted summers off and liked kids and yada, yada, yada. And then they go through this radicalization program through these teachers' colleges. I think one thing that could be done and that some places have started doing is I think there has to be a way to change the accreditation process around what it is to be a teacher. I don't think you should have to go to the teaching colleges to supplement for being a teacher. I think you could have classroom time or something else along with a comparative degree in order to become a teacher. So that's one thing. Curriculum is another thing. We flipped the Miami-Dade School Board back 2 years ago. They've started a program to change the way they do literature and English language arts, ELA, to be classics, to base it on the classics. And when you have a classic-based curriculum in the public schools, which is possible, you no longer have the worry about teaching anti-racism language and literature because of that. I would say the third and final thing I'll say is that the tech in school is problematic because while the textbooks are incredibly regulated, the apps that most teachers use are not regulated. And 97% of all apps are given to schools for free with the sole purpose of them reselling children's data later on to other companies. It is preposterous, and there's a ton of woke language within the apps themselves, and they're very unregulated as opposed to textbooks, which are very regulated.
There's so much here, Ryan. We only have 2 minutes. So I'm going to ask a broad question, and we could pick this up at another time. Do you believe that we are looking 5 years prior to now and now 5 years ahead, so a 10-year window, we're heading in the right direction of a classical-based educational revolution? Yes,
100%. Classic schools are popping up everywhere. Public schools are reforming to adopt that. And for the first time, Republican state legislatures are really genuinely caring about education because of what happened 2 years ago. My PAC is launching a foundation called the 1776 Foundation. We just started it, where we're going to work on having school boards meet with each other from different districts across the country to discuss what policy changes are happening in one place and how they can happen every place, and broadening that communication, which doesn't happen enough. It's happening on the local level, and it's happening now at the state level. The federal government, now that Trump's president or will be president, I think that the grant program and the way that money is doled out will be the very, very important thing, because a lot of stuff happens the way that DC doles out money.